Hey, yo, it's that time in the show when we like to take a little survey. So is there anybody here that came to see that red hot black and white express? Survey says one more for the good guys.
Welcome to Fantasy Kingdom. And this is our playoff edition Fantasy Kingdom. I am your host, Mikey, and as always, riding with me, Shotgun. Howie, how we doing, buddy?
We're doing good. We're in the Super Bowl, baby.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I am not in the Super Bowl. I lost in the first round of the playoffs after leading all year with in the number one seed. My guys took a dump.
Yeah.
Doesn't help when they bench Josh Allen in the entire fourth quarter either.
Well, that's going to happen tonight too.
Yeah. You know, one of the funniest part about all of that is the NFL is doing the first time ever commercial-free fourth quarter. And there's a chance it's going to be commercial-free Easton Stick versus Kyle Allen. Handoffs. Tommy in the house. He says, feels good to be in the playoffs. Yes, Tommy is in the playoffs. One more away from the Super Bowl. Howie's in his Super Bowl in our big money league. But then in our other league, we are both in the first round of the playoffs where if we win, we could meet in the Super Bowl. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see. Both teams one win away. Good luck, Tommy. I hope you do well.
5 years in a row I've been in the playoffs now.
Yeah. I don't even know how many years in a row it's been for me. But let's get to week 15's studs and duds. We'll start with the quarterbacks. The quarterbacks aren't who you think. Goff was our leading quarterback last week.
Yeah.
Then it was Baker Mayfield and his resurgence. Aiden O'Connell. Yeah. Aiden O'Connell. If you had no quarterback and you decided to go with Aiden O'Connell, it definitely paid off for you. Like, yeah. That was just a crap show for the for the Chargers that finally got Staley fired. Like, I don't know how he kept his job as long as he did. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Honorable mention, we had Brock Purdy, we had Minshew, and we had Derek Carr. So, the big guys you think of, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, none of them were the top quarterbacks in the first round of the playoffs.
Well, what's nice about those the three of those guys you just mentioned is they were all quarterbacks who fed my players.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah. As I was telling you off screen, as I was putting this together, most of the guys I put on the stud list belonged to either you or my opponent last week. Yeah. It was kind of crap. I'm like, I didn't like it. Didn't like it at all. For the running backs, we had CMC, who led everything, who actually was the difference maker in my game.
Yeah.
I lost. James Cook, who the Bills just fed all day long against that Dallas defense.
And a lot of people didn't start him.
I know.
But a guy in our league didn't start him, and I had him on my team at the beginning of the league and dropped him.
I didn't start Waddle.
Yeah.
And he went off, like it happens. But James Cook, man, and he really could have had an even a bigger day because he dropped a touchdown.
Yeah.
Which really, really chapped my high because I had Josh Allen.
Well, he's coming on now mainly because you changed offensive coordinators.
Yeah.
All year long, what did I say? Buffalo has no running game. They got runners, but they didn't have a running game because of the way they were coached.
Yeah, and you kept saying, why would you start doing something really well, then you would stop.
Absolutely. That was happening all the time.
You saw it last week. Joe Brady doesn't do that. If something's working, he does not go away from it, which was awesome to see.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with Allen standing there, basically with his thumb up his butt handing off. That's great. When he can get away with that and he doesn't have to go nuts to win the game and put everything on his back, that's when you guys are way more solid as a team.
Yeah. Like it's okay to hand the ball off and then let Josh Allen make 3 or 4 just wow plays a game without having to be Superman every week.
Right. And instead of putting the team on his back, you put it on your running back's back, and then you dink and dunk if you need to, and it allows you to chuck it.
The biggest change I think since the Joe Brady is a lot of those were RPOs, right? Josh didn't hold it and throw it, and he didn't carry it himself. It was very much he just let the running backs do the work. And that was a change from what I've seen in the past, the way he has run the offense. So he was making good decisions all game long by actually giving it off and letting the running backs do the work. Or, as he likes to say, James Cook.
Yeah.
All right, Chris 716 comes in and says, I hope we smash these bums tonight. That's right, Chris. And it is always go Bills. Yep. I hope we smash these
I
bums.
don't think you need to hope too much on this game. The Chargers don't have anything to play for. Their quarterback's out. Keenan's out. Mike Williams is out. Eckler's there, but he hasn't been the same old Eckler of last year.
I think he's still hurt. I think when he got hurt early in the year, it just hasn't. He hasn't healed up.
Been able to shake it up, and they're just going to load the box and tell Stick to beat them.
I hope so. I hope I hope that's what happens, and I hope we feed James Cook and maybe get our passing game going, because it's been a couple weeks since we've seen a crisp passing game. Let's finish up the studs, and then we had Jahmyr Gibbs, my boy Gibbs.
Yeah,
did well. Honorable mention, Ty Chandler.
Yeah,
he came on last week, and man, he looks like the best running back that the Vikings have.
They talked him up a lot early in this, in preseason and stuff, and because everybody's thinking Madison, holy crap, that's the best you got, but they haven't used Chandler until just recently, and they're realizing, oh, holy crap.
Ty Chandler is one of Tommy and mine's favorites from the draft 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We were a big Ty Chandler fans, and we wanted us to draft him, and we didn't. But he's starting to show out, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Then we had Kerwin Williams, the hot pepper challenge man himself, who actually allowed you not to have to eat a pepper today.
That's the first week I haven't had to eat a pepper. This is my best week in a long time. I didn't lose in anything. I won the X Factor. I won the chili pepper challenge.
Yeah.
My percentages for shit on that, but that's okay.
And then Rashard White, he's had a fantastic year out of nowhere. And you know what? He's one of those guys who's not a big name, who just slowly, as the year went on, got better and better. He was dropped and picked up in our league multiple times.
Yeah. He was my first pick of the draft. Now I only got a fourth round, 31st pick in the draft is what I ended up with this year.
Yeah.
And I'm in the Super Bowl, baby.
Yeah, that's because okay.
I'm a streaming fiend this year.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. It wasn't because you drafted well. It's because you have a very good set of keepers, and you streamed really well this year.
I have one guy left on my team that I drafted, but I dropped him and picked him back up.
Yep.
That's Rashard White.
Yep. Wide receivers, Addison, Waddle, McLaurin, all tore it up last week.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp, Godwin, and St. Brown were our honorable mentions, and really they could have been in the true studs, but
they got me where I needed to be.
They all did. They were all fantastic. Tight ends, Laporta, Njoku, and McBride were the studs. Henry, Likely, and Tucker Kraft. Were all the honorable mentions. They all played really well. And the funny part is, because our X Factor, I had St. Brown, you had Laporta, and I had you until they threw that late touchdown to Laporta.
Yeah.
Dirty.
I can tie it up this week if I can.
Dirty dogs. Let's go to the duds. Dak Prescott leads the quarterback duds. Rough game in Buffalo. Sam Howell and Justin Fields were the other two. There was no true dishonorable mentions, as everyone else actually did, 17 points or above. From a running back standpoint, Harris, Khalil Herbert, Breece Hall, all the duds. Javonte Williams, Derrick Henry, and Saquon Barkley, dishonorable mention duds. And Henry and Barkley were mine.
Yeah.
That hurts. Wide receivers, D-Hop, Lockett, and Garrett Wilson dudded out. Man, Garrett Wilson they struggled in the first round. If you played him, could you imagine playing Garrett Wilson over like Waddle or McLaurin?
Oh yeah.
Because the Jets were coming off that really good game.
Sure.
Oh, that would have sucked. Dishonorable mention, we had Ayuk, Pickens, and Thielen. Pickens, man, I don't know what's going on with that guy. Like now, it's not even. He's not giving effort. Tight ends, we had Kincaid, who got a 0. He had 2 drops.
Yeah, I didn't even know if he was in the game. I looked at that.
Well, we did mostly run. Josh only threw the ball 15 times,
Well,
but
that's true.
he dropped his only 2 targets early, and we just stopped throwing the ball because he dropped them, and then Diggs dropped one, and Cook dropped one, and we're like, "Yep, we're done throwing. We're just going to run the ball. Our guys can't hold on the ball today." Taysom Hill, who had like 1 point,
yeah,
and then Pat Freiermuth. Were your 3 duds, and then dishonorable mention. We had Pitts and Ingram. Everyone else actually did pretty well. So that's where our studs and duds for week 15. Hopefully, you had nobody on the duds and you had more on the studs.
Yeah.
So, looking at this coming week, we have a game coming up. We have 2 games coming up today. We have the Bengals at the Steelers. And then we have the Bills at the Chargers. So when you're looking at Bengals Steelers, you actually have someone in this game, correct?
Yeah, I've got Mixon. You know what's interesting about him is he's got over 800 yards this year, and he hasn't had a 100-yard game.
Really?
Nope.
Well, I mean, they're what? They're 15 weeks in, so he's averaged just over 50 yards a game. Just under 50 yards a game.
Well, let's see.
Because 50 yards a game in that 15 would put him at like
750.
Yeah, so he's just over 50 yards a game.
50 yards a game, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's doing okay for me.
And he doesn't have a ton of touchdowns this year either, does he?
No.
So okay, so 800 yards. Are they using him in the passing game much this year?
A little bit little dink and dunk, but not as much as they have.
Okay.
All
right.
I'm interested in seeing how they do without
Chase.
Chase.
Yeah.
Because that opens up the running game for him when he can open up the field. Now Higgins, he had a hell of a game last week, and he's a free agent at the end of the year, so he's got a lot to prove. So he'll be pushing. Tyler Boyd hasn't done really anything.
He comes up with like 1 key catch a game.
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah, so he hasn't done a whole lot, but they're hanging in there.
You want to know what's crazy is Higgins is putting on a show, and he's doing it with Jake Browning.
Yeah,
Jake Browning has looked like Joe Burrow since he's taken over. Where I heard on one of the major networks asked the question is Joe Burrow a product of his system? He's never had to play without all these guys.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think Joe Burrow's a stud, personally.
I think he's really good. It's just the situation he's in is a little tough.
He wasn't real good his junior year at LSU. He was fantastic his senior year at LSU, but he was thrown to Chase and Jefferson.
Mm-hmm.
And then since he's been in the league, he got hurt his rookie year towards ACL, came back, and then he had Chase. So he had Higgins, Chase, and Boyd at all times. He's never had to have an offense that didn't have studs around him.
I think he needs to hit the weight room this offseason, put a little meat on his bones, because he's a skinny, frail little guy. He's really good at what he does, but man, you hit him hard and he breaks.
Every year he's gotten hurt.
Every year,
like when he's healthy, he's in the deep in the playoffs, AFC Championship game or Super Bowl.
That's what I say.
Of the 4 years, only 2 of them did he finish the season.
Yeah, he needs to get into the weight room with the linemen and hang out with them for a few months and get a little pork on him.
Did you see Patrick Mahomes' gift to his linemen?
No,
he got them all golf carts, like souped up golf carts.
Well, he can afford it, that's for sure.
Yep, and the offensive lineman and tight ends bought Josh Allen an ATV. I said, why did you give that guy the ATV? Because he was riding they showed a video of him riding it around in the indoor practice facility. I'm like, no, get him off of that thing until after the season.
I know.
Did we not learn from Nyheim Hines' boat accident?
Yeah.
Or how easy it is to.
That's why so many of these guys have lines on their contract that say, we don't want you riding horses. We don't want you skiing. We don't want,
on ATVs,
stay off of the ATVs,
motorcycles, Yeah.
But you're talking about guys who are adventurous just to begin with. The game they play is is battle, you know. So when they get on their off time, you can't exactly expect them to go to a knitting class, you know.
What? Well, can you imagine all these, 300-pound guys in a knitting class?
Sitting around.
Knitting? Yeah. No, not for them. So on the other side of the ball, the Steelers. What are you looking for from this offense? It sounds like Mason Rudolph is going to be the one who is actually starting today. So they benched Mitch Trubisky.
Mm-hmm.
What are you expecting out of the Steelers?
Well, Pickens hasn't done a whole lot, and what I think will be their bright spot, if they're lucky, is Jaylen Warren today. You know, maybe a little dinking and dunking to him will hopefully open up their passing lanes a little bit. But he's definitely been the running back over Najee lately. I mean, they're splitting carries, but if he's more active in the passing game.
I think they need to feed him a little bit more.
Yeah.
Stop doing the typical splits as much. Like, I get Najee was the first round pick, but Jaylen Warren is the more productive of the two backs.
Well, too, and let him eat. Take a page out of Buffalo's book from last week, and take that running back that has been kind of like Cook was, and just feed him and see what happens. Because you get a running back in a groove. And they get faster, they get stronger, they get pumped up. You know, if they're only running, a couple decent runs every several, sets of downs, they can't really get rolling. You got to just feed them, let them take a few stops, and just power that line. You know, if they need, and they could throw Najee in there in between, and still just beat on that line. And then say third quarter or so, they come out and boom. But we'll see.
Okay. Bills, Chargers. Are you expecting anything from the Chargers?
Nothing. Well, wait a minute. They're pretty good when they can get to the quarterback. They've had a couple games where, but I think Bosa's out too.
Bosa's out, so it's just Khalil Mack.
But they are pretty good at getting to the quarterback. If Buffalo has the running game going, that's going to hold them back a little bit. And Josh is pretty good at getting the ball out quick. But if they can do any kind of coverage, which they haven't been able to do all year, then their defensive line can maybe get to them. But that's all I see. I really don't see him scoring any points.
And then on the Bill side, are you just expecting, monster days from guys? Or are you just expecting them to get through the game, get the W, and get out of town, get out of Dodge?
I don't see any monster game from them, and unless they crack the running game again. They've been dropping a lot of balls too. They're kind of Kansas City East lately. I hate to say that. I know you guys all love your Bills, but they gotta get some of that goop or something on their hands. And now who's the one I really like? He's your third receiver,
Shakir.
I expect a little something out of him today.
Yeah, you're like, get that guy the ball more. He catches everything and he runs with the ball. Is that run after catch ability?
Yeah,
we don't use him as much as we should. We really don't.
And that's been your problem all year. You didn't use Cook as much as you should, and look what happened once you started to throw to Shakir, hand it off to Cook. Use your tight ends, and every now and then take a strike to Diggs.
Yeah, I like it. All right, so let's jump on over. We will do some sit start. We'll do some quarterback. If you had to make a start, would you go with Brock Purdy or Lamar Jackson this week? They play each other. In Santa Clara.
God, Lamar is just so good. I mean, the way he bounces in and out and can still find somebody. I think the Niners are going to win this game, but I think Lamar will do better than Purdy.
Okay. So would you go with Tua versus Dallas or Jared Goff at Minnesota?
I think Goff has the easier game ahead of him. Tua. I hope Tua, uncorks 300 yards to Tyreek this week. I need it. I need him. This is my championship. So, I want Tua to do well, but I think Goff's going to have a better game.
All right. Would you go Justin Fields again, or Kyler Murray. They play each other at Chicago.
I really like Fields. You know, he hooks up with DJ Moore and Kmet a lot, and they've got a tough defense. So yeah, I'm definitely going with them.
I've got a question: Geno or Browning? I'm probably going Browning because Geno's still questionable.
Yeah,
and there's no guarantee because he was healthy enough to play last week and they didn't play him.
Right. Yeah, they waited till game time. They kept him active so that they didn't have to put him on the injury list, and sort of a playing a game type of thing.
Yeah.
But you know, if he couldn't play, you know, the last week, you know, who are they playing this week? They're playing.
And who is it?
Seattle.
Geno. They're playing Tennessee. You know, Browning. Who are they playing? So Browning is going against the Steelers.
Yeah.
I like Geno's matchup better, but there's no guarantee Geno's going to even play. So I would go Browning over Geno because if you gamble and you don't have a third quarterback, Browning plays today, Geno plays tomorrow.
All right.
So if you don't go with Browning, then Geno doesn't play. You're without a quarterback.
All right.
So I'm taking Browning.
Yeah, I like Browning. You know, if Geno was healthy, I like it. You know.
Yeah. If I knew Geno was going to play, I would go Geno.
Yeah.
But there's no guarantee Geno's going to play.
Right.
You know, and last week they had him healthy, and then they still sat him. So, Ty Chandler or Montgomery, playoffs on the line.
I like Montgomery.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's going to be, they do have Minnesota's got a pretty tough run defense, which I kind of hope works for them because that means they got to throw a lot to Laporta and St. Brown. But I think Chandler still hasn't hit his groove. You know, I think next year he's going to be a force, but I wouldn't expect what he did last week to go into this week. So I'm going to go with Montgomery.
And I'll say Chandler has the higher upside. Montgomery has the higher floor.
Right.
Because Montgomery splits times with Gibbs, and you don't know which one of them is going to be the one that goes off.
Right. But I do know Montgomery's going to be your goal line, you know, vulture, and they just like leading off with him. And if he starts off well, they stay with him.
I will tell you, Fantasy Pro says Ty Chandler is actually ranked ahead of Montgomery, based on a PPR league. So go with your gut. The Montgomery Gibbs combo scares me for Montgomery. You know, Ty Chandler is basically their lead back there. And they've fed him more. So if you're comfortable with the higher floor, go with Montgomery. If you think you're going to need the bigger day, go with Ty Chandler.
And you remember, Detroit's got a really good run defense too.
That's saying Akeem Neal is able to go.
Well, you got Hutchinson.
But their interior defensive tackles have been up and down this week.
Okay.
So when you're looking at, but also Ty Chandler's more of a catching the ball guy out of the backfield. They've been dumping it down to him more and more. So it's really go with your gut, Steve. That's all I can tell you. Like if I'm looking for the solid floor, because I know, I just need 10 points. If I know I only need 10 points, I'm going Montgomery. If I'm going to need 20, plus points, I'm probably going Chandler because he has the better chance of having the bigger day than I think Montgomery does.
Yeah, that's kind of a hit and hope. But yeah.
George Hampton says championship question: Devontae or Warren, half PPR league. I have Hurts. Opponent has AJ Brown. Typically a Devontae, but I think Warren might prove more ways to win if Hurts, Peppers, AJ Brown. This goes back to your question. How do the Steelers, deploy Warren? Are they going to deploy Najee as much? Like, here's the thing,
right.
Because
half PPR. See, when you go half PPR, you take the valuable part of Warren right out.
Mm-hmm. We're saying Devontae. We're saying Devontae Adams. That's the question. What Devontae are we talking about?
I'm thinking he's got Devonta.
It's
Javonta. Spelled it wrong.
It's Javonta.
It's Javonte.
Yeah, for Williams. So I need.
No, I'm thinking of the other receiver.
Devonta Smith. You're
Yeah.
thinking Devonta Smith. Okay,
That's who I think because
Devonta Smith is
has
also
hurt.
dealing with a knee injury, and he's not even sure to play.
Yeah.
So if you have one or the other, I'm going Warren as he's more sure to play because Devonta is trying to talk the coaches into letting him play this game because he's nursing a knee injury. So if I had to choose, I'm going Warren over Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
George comes in and says for the flex option, PPR, Ty Chandler, Warren, non-PPR, Warren, Gibson, or Waddle. Howie, I'll let you start with this one.
Let's see.
Non-PPR.
So
we're going strictly yards.
So you're really just looking at yards. Boy, I think Waddle has a chance of getting more yardage. Just on a few long throws.
Ty Chandler has the best chance for touchdowns.
Chandler has the best chance because he'll probably get the ball more. He'll be involved. He'll be involved in more plays than Waddle will. Waddle will get a lot of, he'll run a lot, but he's not going to get thrown to that many times.
Well, it depends on if Tyreek goes or not. I think he's going to go, but if Tyreek doesn't go, I'm taking Waddle. If Tyreek does go, I'm taking Ty Chandler.
God, Tyreek better go
because Gibson has the Jets. And Warren splits time. So, if Tyreek doesn't go, I'm going Waddle. If Tyreek does go, I'm going Ty Chandler.
And I'm going to have to look that one up because if Tyreek doesn't go, I got to.
He came back to practice on Friday.
Well, I expect them to give him, rest.
Mm-hmm.
They just kept him off because an ankle takes forever to heal. So the more you can take him off the field, and it's not like he needs to be in every practice play to remember what he's supposed to do. Basically, what he does is run, get the ball, and just go for it.
Yep.
So him not being in practice it doesn't scare me. It's just I hope he plays.
Yeah. So hopefully we answer your question, George Play 01. Another one comes in and says lineup is Lawrence, CMC, Barkley, Waddle, Evans, Ingram. Would you swap out any for Tua, A-Chain, Higgins, or Walker? Lawrence just cleared concussion protocol today.
Right.
Lawrence is going against Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay. Dallas is coming to Miami. A-Chain, I would probably get A-Chain or A-Chan is really how you say it, is a question mark because he's been hurt. Like when he's on the field, he's fantastic. But I don't know if Dallas is going to let Miami run on them after what happened to him last week.
Yeah.
Love Higgins, especially without Chase.
Yeah. If I had to switch out somebody now,
because he also has Taylor in his flex, so he has Jonathan Taylor in his flex. I might sit Taylor because he's just coming back. I might sit Taylor and go with Higgins. I might go CMC, Barkley, Waddle, Evans, and Higgins over Taylor. What would you do?
Okay, I didn't see anywhere.
He had it in the next line.
Oh, okay.
Also Taylor in the starting lineup. So I would probably go. I might flop out Tua for Lawrence, especially if Tyreek's back. I'd go Tua for Lawrence. I'd go CMC, Barkley as my two running backs. I'd go Waddle, Evans, and Higgins as my wide receivers.
Yeah, I'd like to get Higgins in there somehow.
Especially with no Jamar Chase.
All right. Yeah. I like Ingram.
So would you go Tua or would you go Lawrence?
Well, if you're going to go with Waddle in there, that means you're expecting some. I would go with Tua then.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Tua doesn't do anything, Waddle would be irrelevant.
Let me ask you this question: would you add in Walker over Waddle? Would you go Evans and Higgins with CMC, Barkley, and Walker?
Well, that's not too bad. Isn't Walker coming off an injury?
Yeah, he's always coming off an injury.
Yeah.
He's always coming off an injury. I love him. He's super talented, but man, he's always banged up.
Well, and then Barkley, they're going against the Eagles, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I'm not too up on Barkley for this game. I'm not too. Of course, I'm never up on the Giants, and they always come around and slap me
Yeah,
upside the head.
Walker's questionable though. That's the problem with adding Walker. You don't know if he's going to play.
Okay, yeah, you got. I guess you got to leave.
I mean, you
Barkley.
can go CMC and Achan, but you don't know what Achan's going to do. He's just coming back from injury too.
And then you've almost got like Achan, Waddle, Tua.
Yeah,
that's always risky
Dangerous.
when you put that many people in fantasy because you got to feed all those.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Tua's gonna. The more people he can feed, the better for him.
Yeah.
But you know.
So I would go with Barkley only because I don't want that many people in there, and Walker is questionable. You know.
Yeah.
Lawrence has also been struggling with turnovers.
Oh, you can't hang on the ball. Last week he dropped one.
So
nobody touched him.
I would probably add Tua in there. You know, this is just me. Go with your gut. If you're a Lawrence lover, people are Lawrence lovers or Lawrence haters. There's very few people who are in between.
Yeah.
You know,
when Lawrence and Ingram are on, they're really on.
And Riddle,
yeah.
When he gets Riddle going, what happened to Lawrence is he lost Christian Kirk, who was his go-to.
Yeah, that was.
When he lost him, things kind of changed.
And Etienne has not been Etienne of old.
No, because the offensive line hasn't given him any holes.
He's beat up. He's getting, averaging less than a couple yards. So, yeah.
Okay. So here's another one. It says Schultz versus Cleveland or Freiermuth versus Cincinnati. Or he can go pick up Kraft or Everett off of waivers.
I'm thinking Freiermuth.
No, I wouldn't go Schultz there because it's backup time still in Houston. Freiermuth, that has Mason Rudolph. I don't like any of these options really.
No, Everett definitely not.
You know,
I mean,
Tucker Kraft seemed like he might be the best option here.
Yeah, I guess, but
for Green Bay at Carolina, I might go pick up Tucker Kraft.
Yeah,
and just hope because like that, I don't trust that Steelers offense at all. Schultz has Keenum throwing him the ball still this week, and that Cleveland defense is super good. I think I might go pick up Tucker Kraft. That would probably be your best.
Yeah, it's kind of a hit and hope shot for you.
Yeah, like none of those options are great, but Tucker Kraft showed up last week, and Luke Musgrave's still out there, so he's probably gonna be their tight end one. Yikes, none of those are great. Like Tucker Kraft has the best matchup of the three. So.
Yeah, and I'm a big proponent of streaming. So, if you gotta go get somebody, go get some. I made
against matchups, right?
32. I made 32 moves this year,
and that was in your money league where it cost you to make those.
Yeah, $2 a pop.
Yeah. Says Cincinnati defense sucks. Freiermuth up 21 points against them with Pickett at QB 3 weeks ago. Yeah, but the problem is it's no longer Pickett. It's Mason Rudolph this week. Do you trust Mason Rudolph to be able to get him the rock? If you remember Mason Rudolph, like they were calling for anybody other than Mason Rudolph 2 years ago. And now he's going to come in all of a sudden be the savior. Whew, not for me. I don't trust.
He's their number 3 quarterback too, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Like if Pickett was there, I would say go with Freiermuth. I had Freiermuth. I love the guy. Super talented. I don't trust the guy flinging him the rock is the problem.
Yeah.
But go with your gut. If you really feel like Mason Rudolph is that answer, I don't know. Tough pick. That's why I'm saying Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft has Jordan Love, which is the best of the quarterbacks, and he's going against a really bad Carolina team.
Yeah.
Is the reason why I said him. But if you feel that Mason Rudolph can do the job, now I think Freiermuth's the best of the tight ends that you just talked about, like from a talent wise. But I don't know if I trust Mason Rudolph enough to put him in there. What's going on, Scotty?
Hey.
All right, Howie, let's get into this. Would you go with Derrick Henry against Seattle or Breece Hall against Washington?
I think Breece Hall.
Okay.
Because anytime he breaks, gets through that line, he's dangerous.
He's got a chance.
Yeah, and Washington's got
They
nothing
did just get
nothing really
shut
to
out.
play for.
They did just get shut out by Miami's defense.
Miami's defense is tough.
No, they're not.
Well, they're tougher than Washington at this point. Are you kidding me?
All right. Would you go Ezekiel Elliott or would you go HN
I like Zeke this week.
at Denver?
Yeah, in the Christmas game, can you believe it? Patriots and Denver. Ooh, boy, people are going to flock to that one, aren't they?
Okay, here's a great one. The battle of questionables. Kenneth Walker III or Josh Jacobs?
Oh man.
If they play, who you going with?
If they play, and where's Las Vegas playing?
At KC.
At KC. KC can get run on. If he's healthy, I would go with Jacobs.
Okay. I like that. Devin Singletary or Javonte Williams?
Javonte.
Javonte?
I'm going with Javonte. I love Devin. I was harsh on him early. I mean, I nicknamed him Devin Single Digit, but he's had like 3 good weeks in a row. But they're hurting.
Mm-hmm.
All
right, here's one for you: James Cook or Tony Pollard?
I gotta go with Cook. I gotta go with the hot hand.
All right.
I mean, I love Pollard. Pollard was one of my mainstays the last couple of years, but if they play that, who knows with Buffalo? Are they going to dance with who brung them, or are they going to say, let's try something new?
No, I think they're dancing with who brung them. It's a different offense coordinator.
Oh, well, let's hope so. I'm just saying it's,
You like you have to until you prove it to me.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna believe it.
Show me.
It's just
But I like Cook. I liked him at the beginning of the year, and they didn't use him, so I didn't keep him as a keeper. But I wish I had him now.
Right. All right. Here's one for you: DJ Moore or Rashee Rice.
I'm a DJ fan. I'm taking DJ to the end. I wish I wouldn't have traded him away, but you gotta love him with the quarterback in there. He loves him and Kmet.
Oh yeah, Justin Fields.
Yeah, he just. I mean, it's like there's a magnet between them. Yeah. So I'm going DJ all the way on that one.
Okay, are you gonna go Devontae Adams or Amari Cooper?
I like Cooper with gosh darn it, my brain's going today. Quarterback Flacco. I love me some Flacco lately. He looks smooth out there. He's calm under pressure. Is he the old Flacco? No, but he's hitting them, and he likes Cooper lately. I mean, who was the other receiver there in Cleveland?
Elijah Moore.
Yeah, for like the first week, he hit Moore a bunch. They had the Jets connection, but since then it's been Cooper. I mean, Cooper he got me 20-something points last week.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, you going DK Metcalf or Deebo Samuel?
Deebo.
First
of all, we don't know if Smith's playing. Geno's playing, so
yeah.
That helped, one way or another. But Deebo is just such a jackknife. I mean, they're going to play him in the running game. They're going to throw it to him.
All right, so 2 guys from the same team, Deebo or Brandon Ayuk?
Deebo,
okay. You're going to love this one, Calvin Ridley or DeAndre Hopkins?
God. Well, let's see. If I want 4 or 5 points.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna
Ridley at Tampa Bay, Hopkins at home versus Seattle.
I'm gonna go with Ridley.
Okay.
And hope that Lawrence, his head's cleared up, and they're throwing to Ingram, they're throwing to Ridley. They don't have Kirk, which really hurts them. And geez, I'm talking myself out of this one in a way because they don't have. I mean, ETN's not all that great. No, I'm gonna go with Ridley. I would go DK. Because even with Drew Lock, he still found DK. I think DK is a better player. I like DK better. I'm just saying the game situation.
Yeah, and I like it because Locke will just throw deep balls to him. He doesn't care, and he did it last week. Scott says Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes.
Here's the deal. I don't see Josh Allen playing past the third quarter. So, I mean, as good as he is, if you're looking for points, you're going to have to go with Mahomes.
Because they don't pull Mahomes ever.
No, they don't. He doesn't. He don't want to come out. Allen, they'll pull if they think they're ahead enough, they'll pull him because they need him for every single game coming up.
Yep.
They can't afford for him to get dinged.
Yeah.
So I see him and Diggs coming out early. They're not going to, the Chargers aren't going to score very many points. If Allen comes out and they get, up 2 or 3 touchdowns, don't look for him after the third quarter.
All right. I like that one. All right, here. Battle of the Rookies, Jordan Addison or Zay Flowers?
They like Addison up there lately.
Addison plays, versus Detroit. Zay Flowers going against San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Addison,
You picked Addison. You never pick Addison.
I drafted him and I got rid of him. So
you never pick him.
I never do. So there you go.
This one's an awesome one. I like this one. Courtland Sutton or Drake London.
I would go with Courtland Sutton on this one. The Denver has everything to gain, and Atlanta, you don't know what's going to happen there. London has been hotter lately, but Sutton's just been phenomenal.
All right, last one for the wide receivers. Terry McLaurin or Adam Thielen?
I'm always feeling Thielen, but I'm going to go with McLaurin this week.
All right. Need to start a tight end. Goddard, Kmet, or Waller? Ooh, I love that.
Well, I tell you, I just said a bit ago, I like Kmet.
Yeah, Kmet is hard to sit because they look for him all the time, especially in the red zone.
Yeah.
I'm going Kmet. I'm going Kmet all day long.
I mean, I like Waller. I mean, if it was,
I like Goddard. The way I do it, I go Kmet, Goddard, Waller is the way I would rank them. Waller's a fantastic talent, but he doesn't have the gunslinger back there at quarterback. He has DeVito, who they don't use him as much as they should.
Yeah.
Kmet is Goddard's probably the most talented of the three. No, Waller's probably the most talented. Goddard's the most used of the three, but Kmet has the higher red zone percentage. So give me Kmet all day long.
Yeah, Fields has a connection with him.
Loves him. Kmet is ranked 11th. Goddard's ranked 10th in Fantasy Pros PPR.
Yeah.
So Goddard has the Giants, but it really depends on if they let Smith play. If Smith plays, Goddard's option 4 in the game. If without Smith, he moves up in the target shares, and I can understand that. So it really comes down to, but Kmet's option 2 in their passing game. It goes more Kmet. So I'm going Kmet. That's just.
And I think in that Eagles game, I think we're going to see a lot of Swift this week.
Yeah, because they have gotten away from it, the running game.
Yeah.
All right, the final ones, tight ends. Would you go Evan Ingram's or George Kittle?
Oh, this is the old Kittle's a better ball player and more valuable to the team, but Ingram has been solid.
Been the better fantasy player.
Solid. I had him all year. I mean, you can get 12 to 17 points off of him every week. Now, Kittle, you can get 0 to 30. So if you're going to hit and hope, but the thing is Kittle's on a team where there's 5 other guys they got to feed. Ingram is like number 2. Yeah. So I would go Ingram.
I like that. Jake Ferguson or Isaiah Likely?
Wow. Dallas is loving Ferguson.
And Isaiah Likely has been starting to fit into that Mark Andrews role last year.
Yeah, he has. They've been playing him a lot. Geez, boy, that's almost a coin flip. But I'm gonna go with Who was it? Likely and who? My brain just went.
Jake Ferguson.
Ferguson. I'm gonna go with Fergie.
No Fergie. All right, I like that. I like that. Scott, no pepper today, buddy. He won it the first time this year. He won his hot pepper challenge.
I did.
You know,
I won everything this week.
Yeah.
Made my way into the Super Bowl. One playoff game against going into another Super Bowl. And I actually, in my other league that I did crap in, I got into fourth place, so I'm in the playoffs over there too. This is the first year I'm in a 3 playoff situation. So,
Kyle Pitts or Dalton Schultz.
Oh man. I'm gonna go with Pitts, even though most of the year I've
Pitts has the better matchup.
He has a better matchup, and they're really playing for something there.
Yep.
So,
All right, last one. Dalton Kincaid or Darren Waller?
Jeez. Well, you know they're going to throw to Waller.
You think?
You think, and technically he's the better of the two, but I'm gonna go with Waller because I think that they're going to try to run heavy again.
Okay.
Run heavy and then throw some darts. So yeah, I think I would go that way with Waller's like him and Barkley is all they got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, really, they got Hyatt, they got what's his name, Dewan.
They have Hyatt. Who do they have there? They have Barkley. They have Hyatt. They have I don't even know who else is on there. You know, from a receiver.
I can't pronounce the guy's name, but it's Wandell or something.
Wandell Robinson.
Wandell Robinson, and that's all they got.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm looking at Waller as probably being there, and he's the one with the fresh legs.
Okay.
So, yeah, I gotta go with Waller on that one.
All right, so on to you did in your last hot pepper challenge of the year. You aced it. Good job. Down to the X Factors. This is our final week. I'm up 1, so it's either tie or I win. I'll let you start. Who is going to be your X Factor this week?
You know I don't like doing this, but I'm going to go with CMC. Usually I try to stay away from the top horses, but this is for the tie. This could bring us back next week.
Yeah. Let me see. If you're going to go CMC, I'm going Tyreek.
There you go. Hey, go Tyreek. I hope I lose this one.
Just so you have to root against it.
Oh, no, God, no. I'm not rooting against that one. I'm rooting against that like you're rooting against losing in the playoffs for a better draft pick.
Right. You know, I mean, at this point, the difference in that league is $25. I'd rather have the better draft pick next year. Being third or being fourth, it doesn't matter to me.
Draft picks, what are those?
We don't know. You're like the Rams. Them picks.
Last year it was like, there goes the first round, there goes the second round, there goes the third round, and then I got second place the year before, so I didn't pick until the second to the last pick in the fourth round.
And not only that, but you gambled all those picks just to lose in the Super Bowl.
Hey,
the year before.
Yeah, so, but you know what?
We don't talk about that.
And I've said this a couple times to you, and you Buffalo fans are going to love this one. But if I get another second place,
don't make me put you on timeout. Don't make me put you on timeout. On timeout he goes.
The second place Kings.
You're not funny. You're not funny at all. All right, Howie. As we're gonna wrap up, any final words?
Well, I hope you all had a really good season this year, and if you're in the playoffs, go for it. Next year, if you're thinking about it, try streaming. This was this year. I decided at the very beginning that I was going to stream the hell out of the thing, and I had a good time. And I'm in the money. Other than that, that's about the best I can tell you.
Yeah.
If you got a chance, go out, donate to your local food bank. Give a homeless guy a sandwich, whatever, pay for the car and back you if you're in a fast food lane, and have a good set of holidays.
Yep. Generosity is the time of year.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you guys all watching Fantasy Kingdom. There is a chance that Howie and I will be back next week to do a recap regardless. You know what, Howie? Let's come back next week. We're going to come back next week, do a recap regardless.
Yeah.
Tell people if you won or lost your Super Bowl.
That's right. Yeah, I want to hear from the fans how they did. I want to see if Tommy actually gets past the playoffs.
Yeah, if he gets into the Super Bowl. And Scott, you're right. Tyreek is a cheat code himself.
Oh, absolutely. When he's playing, and he's really got something to play.
And there's a chance he doesn't even play.
I know.
And I just threw my chance to get out of here with a win.
Hopefully, I'll find out whether he's going to play, soon enough so I can throw Cooper in there.
Yeah, right.
Because that's about what I got.
All right, so we will be back. Okay, here we go. Scott comes in and says, we're winning the Super Bowl pepper challenge. Yes, you said if we win the Super Bowl, you're eating a pepper.
Yeah,
you already dropped the challenge.
That one. I mean, if you win, you're eating a pepper. Let's see. I got nowhere to go with a loss.
We'll talk more about that.
I'm not going to predict the Bills losing. I gotta spend Christmas with Mike. So
right. You don't want to do that.
No, I'm not gonna. I want the Bills to continue to do well because
I'm in a better mood that way.
Yeah. Oh well, it's better than having to wait till Wednesday to call him. Let me tell you.
All right. So for Howie, I'm Mikey. We'll be back next week at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific. Until then, go Bills.
You bet.